I appreciate those of you that are staying with the show tonight. It's challenging, I know, the content, but also the broken up audio. I believe the audio is completely intact, and you'll be able to hear it right after this show over at don'ttreadonme.tv. It is just being attacked as it goes out on the airwaves to you guys. But it will be, they'll probably try to take down that website of mine, don'ttreadonme.tv next, just to keep you from my message, folks. Hey, Jeffrey, what else have you got to add on this subject?
Well, that was pretty interesting, what you were saying, before. One thing I wanted to say first is, talking about Luke 19:27. I mean, how also does that match up with "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do"? I mean, that's kind of what the "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do" was what I was saying a little while ago. But people are tricked, and it's the like it says in Ephesians 6:12, it's the wickedness at the high places, which is the problem, not the people that are victims of it. I mean, that's like the slave days. I was talking
right.
a couple of days ago about, people want to blame all those white people. Well, there's white people in those camps, and that was all just a New World Order corporatist program. I mean, it's not the people that were doing it. It was the corporate Illuminati system. So it is. Well, what do we do about this, John? I mean, do we then also hold that the New Testament as well has been tampered with, like the Old Testament?
Oh yeah, if you research it, I think you'll see. Again, we have to rely on what? The experts, and you'll come across a lot of so-called experts that can point out that it has been tampered with. But I'm just saying, look, use your own sensibilities, your own logic, and look at it. And the contrast of the stuff that has been added is just so overwhelming that you'll know which stuff is the lie that was added to the beautiful truth, which was the message of Christ. Let me go back and really shake everybody's cradle, because I know a lot of people, this is already over their head, but so they can't tie this in. And this is the hard part. If you put everything that I have said here tonight together, then what it's summed up as saying is the God of the Old Testament is not the creator of the universe. And because he is the author of the first 5 books of the Old Testament. I mean, that's what Moses says. He says, I wrote word for word down without breaks, directly as it was given to me from God. Okay? What I am saying is that the Old Testament God is Satan. And the reason why it's a mind twist for all of you is because when he tells you that the serpent is in the tree luring Eve and Adam indirectly to eat and have a conscience, knowing right and wrong, and that's a bad thing, folks. What I'm saying is simply he is the author of the story, so he can take the good guy and dress him up as black. And then he can dress himself up in white. And you guys fall for this over and over and over. You have to dig into things to get out the truth. The surface is almost always a lie. And the deeper you go, the more you'll discover. It's a radical thought, but I know I'm right. And I know that puts me in polar opposite with almost all of you. But that's my take. What do you think, Jeff?
Okay, so the God of the Old Testament is Satan. Who is the God of the New Testament? Then that's the real one, or
No, 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 no. The God of the New Testament is not the same God. We have completely two different messages, right? We have a message of love in the New Testament and forgiveness. And in the Old Testament, we have eye for an eye, stone the bitch. We have all that kind of garbage. And we have commandments, do not do this, do not do that. When you go to the New Testament, it is said, love your enemy, for crying out loud. I mean, that's a profound shift change. Mm-hmm. Now, the only challenge I've ever had given to me by somebody that knew their stuff, that was pretty cool, was they said, okay, then why did Jesus get himself water baptized, which is Old Testament stuff? Why did he fulfill the law? And the answer, folks, is rather simple. He was the only one, like I feel like I'm the only one tonight that knows this, and just like I have to obey the New World Order because they're in complete control, right? He had to in his day, and what he was doing was hijacking the people and giving them the truth, but they were so entrenched in their Old Testament ways that he had to show himself as an example of being able to fulfill every letter of the law in order to get their attention and their respect. Once he fulfilled that, he showed them what? A new replacement. And he says this over and over and over, that this is a new law. This is replace of the old garment, right? He says you do not put new fabric on old garment. You just go get new wineskins. This is all real obvious stuff, and it's been staring you in the face, but because you guys don't seek the real truth, you like what you've been fed, at least to a point, you don't ever get there from here.
Okay, so why would the God of the New Testament then be allowed to be put into the Bible through all those councils of Nicaea? That's one question. Then the second question I had for you is, well, I've got a couple. Jehovah being Satan, I have to think about that one. That's very interesting. He sure does act like it all over the place. I mean, doing basically more hideous things than we've done in Iraq. And I know Iraq is a huge satanic ritual. Pakistan, Afghanistan as well. So, but why? How about that first question? Why would how did the real message? I guess the real God then get allowed into the second half of the Bible?
That just like they allow this show and other truth shows to go on the air. It's funny. Yep. We're going to take a break. Be right back. Okay, apparently Global Star is telling me that this show is intact. You can hear it fully without all the garbled up stuff that we're having to fight live. And please get it at don'ttreadonme.tv immediately after the show. It should be up there within maybe 15 minutes. If tonight's too late for you, give it a shot tomorrow. I really... listen, folks, I really want you to hear my take on this. I think it's a novel belief that I have, but I can't really go into how I come to understand this without taking on another whole show. But there are a couple of other issues. Let me Jeff, say this. What if I were to say that I really admired the Aztec or the Mayan culture, and I wanted to do a blood sacrifice, right? I would probably have some resistance, right, folks? You guys wouldn't think too highly of me if I was taking my goats or any other animal and I was doing a blood sacrifice for any reason.